Oh, it's been great. We've got, like everyone, this is a fun time of the year. You don't have the pressure of games. You're just kind of building your team. For us, got a lot of new faces, so we're enjoying the practice time. We brought in guys that had, been well coached in other programs. So they've kind of, brought a maturity and a physicality to practice. That's been a little eye-opening for some of our younger guys, but it is setting a standard. And so, really a lot of competition in practice. We're really looking forward to playing someone else right now.
Thanks, Matt. Let's get to the questions for you. Questions for Coach Matt Lottich. Again, media, please use your reactions button to raise your hand. And we'll start with Paul Oren. Paul.
Hey, fantastic. I have a litany of questions for you. I guess I want to start with the newcomers.
Yep.
And you talk about being well coached in other areas. Can you talk about maybe the collective basketball IQ that these guys bring in and maybe how has that been different from kind of his installs been a little bit quicker and things like that with these guys?
Yeah, I think we've had a good balance, right? We've actually brought in, we have 4 guys remaining that played pretty significant minutes for us last year. And then you add that to guys that have played, for pretty high level programs, for pretty high level coaches. And so I just think, I get asked a lot, like, what is, what's the thing that you like most about this group? And I do think there is a maturity level, just kind of already, established by our guys that were returning. And then a maturity level brought in with new ideas that guys coming from other programs. And then you combine that with some young talent. And so install's been easier. We have players that are helping coach other players, which is always fun. Offering advice. And, I think Thomas Kithier, played at Michigan State for a while. He said, one of my biggest goals for this team is me being able to, help the younger players not make the same mistakes that maybe I made when I was younger. And having that type of mentality has been huge for us.
One of the newcomers, Kobe King, what's his status in terms of games? Does he have to miss any? And I'll have a follow-up on him after you answer that.
Yeah, Kobe's got to miss, it's 9 or 10 games. I can't, actually, let's err on 10. He's going to miss 10 games, but, been at every practice. He's doing great in school. I think he's just excited to be back in college basketball. Boy, what a joy of a young man to coach. I mean, he brings a positivity with him, and he's a heck of an athlete.
What's the challenge then? Obviously, you're aiming toward getting ready for the season opener, but keeping him enough reps to him be ready. Because I don't really know what his role in practice is in those 10 games that he's going to be out.
Yeah, we've been keeping him. We're planning on not playing him right now, right? As far as like prepping for game 1 or for our first exhibition. But at the same time, he's getting valuable reps. He never really subs out. And is getting as many reps as anyone else would. But right now in the back of our mind, as we, start to kind of formulate opinions of, who's going to play and what type of roles and things like that. He is going to be, in some ways a guy like you add when there's an injury, right? And, he's going to be out for an extended period of time. And then you work him back in as you get closer to that return date. And so for Kobe, we're gonna return him back in and looking forward to it.
And I don't want to monopolize all of your time, but I guess we got 1.5 more questions. In terms of you're talking about making decisions about playing time with the freshmen, has redshirting been discussed at all? And I guess when do those decisions get made?
We're actually going to meet next week, and. I have been approached by some guys already talking about, the possibility of can I redshirt? I'm not in a position right now to make that determination or talk about it publicly because I haven't talked to them about it yet. But again, we like our young talent a lot, Paul. There is, there are multiple guys on our team that, are above 21 years old. And so, when you're coming in as an 18-year-old, just that physical difference, some of those guys, could use a redshirt year. And if it's best suited for our team, then we'll do it.
And my final question, I guess, is, I I think every coach will probably be asked about health. I guess where are you at this point, 2 weeks out from the start of all this?
So we're relatively healthy, right now. We do have, like probably everyone, some guys with some, some aches and bruises. We did have a scare with a potential knee injury from one of our freshmen, but, the MRI came back and he'll be back on the court really shortly, which is a big blessing for us. So, there's some guys that have been out but overall our health is good, and we should have, all our guys available. At least we practice in about 10 minutes, and we should have our guys there. So
that's all I got for you. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Coach, the next question comes from Todd Hefferman.
Matt, just a lot of new guys. Where do you start when you're trying to improve your offense? What are you stressing right now?
Well, I think we're going to play a little bit differently. We're going to, Ben will probably play primarily the 4 for us, where last year he was playing a little more 5. And so we'll be bigger. But we also shoot it a lot better right now, Todd. I mean, we brought in, and no one's really talking about Kevion Taylor, Division II transfer that we got, but he averaged over 20, shot over 40% from 3. He really stretches the floor, stretches the defense. Trevor Anderson stretches the floor, the defense. Sheldon Edwards taking a big jump. So offensively, we have a saying here, spacing is offense and offense is spacing. So we're really working on giving our guys good spacing. But we shoot it better. I think we pass it a little better. We score on the interior a little better. So, right now we've been scoring at a pretty high rate, and hopefully that continues.
Will you have a true point guard, or is that will you play differently that way?
I think we have a couple of them. I know Trevor, Anderson played a lot of backup point at Wisconsin. We're pretty familiar with him. He was on Green Bay's team when we were still in the Horizon League, if you think all the way back then, and he was pretty good there. He thinks like a point guard, speaks like one. I mean, he is a leader on the floor. And then, the young man from Canada that we brought in, Darius DeVero, who's his father's actually a pretty high level Canadian coach. And so, you could tell he's a coach's kid, but he is a true point guard, and a lot different than Trevor. And so we're excited about that, but really, really quick, puts a lot of pressure on the basketball. But both of them are true points.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Matt, your final question comes from Harry Schrader.
Hey, good morning, Matt. I wanted to ask you 2 quick ones, like just short ones, both of them. One, has NIL become a factor at all at your place, meaning are some of your players signing some kind of deal with the local car dealership or whatever? How is that affecting the team, number one? And as far as I can think, this is the first time you've had what I would call like a veteran team since you've been in the Valley. And how much difference does that make? You talked a little bit about being able to put things in quicker, but that's going to make I would assume it's going to make a gigantic difference in your team.
Yeah. 2 great questions. I would think that the NIL questions have not affected our team. I think, most players are in support, right, of guys that are getting opportunities maybe to add a little extra income. We are in a community that, our guys are very much celebrities in our community. So there have been some opportunities for them. Again, I'm not their agent, right? I don't orchestrate this or anything like that. They could speak about their opportunities there, but they have been afforded some, which has been neat. And there hasn't been any jealousy or things like that. It's just, commonplace. And again, I think it's been good for us. I did hear Commissioner Jackson talking a little bit about it, and you don't want your guys being all the way committed to that, right? There's still a lot of work that they have to do on the court. And so our message has just been, look, you're going to get more opportunities if we win and we perform well, and you perform well. So, take care of your business here and take care of your business in the classroom and things of that nature. So, and then you're right. I mean, we are, again, and like everyone in college basketball, right? I think everyone just got older just because the NCAA gave everyone another year of eligibility. And so we are older. We are a lot more physical. That's been nice. And again, I mean, you come watch our practice, you can see, the freshmen are, they're learning. And our freshmen actually yesterday had a great day. And so you can see those moments, but typically with younger guys, right, there's moments, but they're not as consistent as maybe some of your veteran guys. They're just as talented, maybe not as physical yet, but they're just not as consistent. And so the goal, for those young guys is to get them more consistent over time. And so again, it's been really nice having some vets that have been able to lead the way.